What up, Algebra? Just coming at you again for another lesson, day 3 of virtual instruction. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope that things went well for you last week with math and virtual instruction. You know, looking at the things I could see that you did, it looked like things went pretty well, both from like you accessing the information and organizationally figuring things out, as well as the math. Everything's been really solid looking, and it's been cool to just get a glimpse into things you've been doing again. We also had some pretty fun office hours on Wednesday last week, just chatting. We'll have that again this week, Wednesday, 3:30 to 4:30, so look for that Zoom link in Google Classroom again. Any questions, or if you just want to say hey, I'll be there. So let's jump in. We're going to keep it kind of short so we make sure we stay within that 30 minutes and that you get some time to practice your problems. You got 10 problems for classwork today. It's going to be informative again, like where you're seeing this. So let's jump into it. So we're going to work on quotients today. So we've done exponents to the product property. We've done a power to a power. We've done negatives. We've done zeros. Keeping all those things in mind still, we're adding more. We're going to do quotients. And what I want you to keep in mind is, what is division in general? So keep that at the forefront. We're not doing something new. We're just doing a new application. And you know me. Please don't memorize. Understand. If you understand it, you'll be able to use it in 2 years just by understanding it. If you try to memorize it, yeah, you'll get some right answers on the homework, but you're going to lose it in 2 weeks if you memorize it, all right? So just trust me on that. So this is going to be about as simple as you see on your homework. We're doing division. I like to first look at my coefficients here, the 4 and 3. I don't have an opportunity to simplify those, so I don't need to worry about them in this case. So next I'm going to look at my variables that I have in common. So I have an x to the sixth, and an x. And this is the only time we'll do expanded. So x to the 6th would look like that, and an x is like this. So as in all division, anything divided by itself is 1. So an x divided by an x is just a 1. So what I do with that is I say, I'm going to get rid of that x, and I'm going to get rid of that x. They cancel each other, which is why the quotient property is going to be that we can subtract. We can subtract right here our 6 minus 1 to get 5. So that's going to give me 4x to the 5th over 3 as my answer. And again, the only reason that subtraction works is really because we have an x divided by x. And you all already know that anything divided by itself is 1. All right, so let's look at another one. So here, I like to start with the coefficients. You don't have to. I've got a 4/8. And I know that 4/8 simplifies straight up to 1/2. All right? 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now I'm going to identify my variable that I have in common. And I have a to the 4th in the numerator. Remember, that's a times a times a times a. And I got an a squared in the denominator. And when I'm thinking about this, I'm saying 2 of these are canceling 2 of those, because a divided by a is 1. And that leaves me with a squared. So you could keep your answer as like this, but you know me. 1 times a squared is just a squared. I like to keep that coefficient tight like that. If you had a 1 out front, it's the same thing. I'd still take it. But this is just cleaner and, you know, my preference. Remember, this is going to be kind of quick on purpose. Feel free to rewind, go back. Take your time with it, all right? Push pause, whatever you need to do. So look in here. I'm looking at my coefficients. Can't mess with those. 2/3 is simple. Now here's something a little different. Got that little negative up there. And you got to remember back to when we did our negatives. Negative exponents mean reciprocal. That means I need to throw that x squared in the basement. That's how I like to think of it, right? Another way you can think of it is with the quotient property, you can still do your subtraction, which would be, with your exponents, that'd be a -2 minus 4, which would give you a -6. To get that -6 to be positive, you'd have to throw it in the denominator anyway. So either way you do it, your denominator is going to have an x to the 6th. I prefer to say, hey, I'm going to take that -2, throw it down there with the 4. That 4 becomes a 6. Or you can say, I know I can do the subtraction with my exponents. -2 minus 4 is -6. To get my -6 to be positive, I got to throw it downstairs anyway. It's up to you, however you want to think about it. All right, last one, and it's a doozy. Let's get organized. Let's look at those Now here, you might notice I have two different variables, but that's cool. I need to make this positive. So again, two options. You can think of that 4 from up here, minus negative 2, which is 6. Or I like to just think I'm going to throw this upstairs, and it's going to be with that W4 to become W to the 6th. And then in the x squared, you can't mess with that. It's just x squared. That'd be my simplified version. Another way you can check these, and it'd be a little laborsome, but if you want to make sure you're getting things right, it's cool. You could assign values for w and x. So you could say something like w equals 3, x equals 4. And if you substitute those values into your original expression here, you get the same answer as if you substitute them into your new expression. So keep in mind as well, we're not making new values, we're just simplifying these expressions to be more manageable if we were to use them for substitution. We're not making new numbers here. Oh, I had one more. That's cool, let's do it. 0 power is 1, so that's gone. That negative gets thrown upstairs, so I get 6y to the 7th. Again, I'm cruising on purpose because I'm trying to keep it manageable for your day. I just want to let you all know I appreciate how hard I saw you working on last week's lessons. Feel free to email, reach out, anything you need. Use those office hours. It'd be awesome to see some more people. And ultimately, I just hope you're all doing well and pushing yourselves to do your best, even if it seems like a challenge to make it happen by yourself at home. You know, I know it's tough. I'm not there just getting on you in class all the time. You got to do it yourself. But I just want to make sure you're doing your best. All right. So get after it. You'll hear from me Wednesday or Thursday. All right. Be good.